So welcome back everybody. Part 2 of this spare wheel bracket. If you haven't watched the first episode, go check it out. There's a link. Check it out before you watch this one. Otherwise you won't know what I've done in this video and what I've changed to it. But just to update you, this is my car, yeah. So I'm installing a spare wheel bracket in that area, like so. That area there, that is gonna house an extra wheel for me, because in a week's time I'm going to Namibia to go test some of the DIY stuff that I've done in this vehicle, but I'll show you later on what I've done inside. Yeah, so sitting in the middle of nowhere trying to get your spare wheel from under there, sitting on a notch of sand, it's super difficult. So if I can have the spare wheel on the back, makes it much easier. The bracket that I did build is an old bracket that I used on my old car, and I'm going to reuse it on this one, modified it a bit, so I'm going to fit it today. So let's get into it. Check it out. Okay, so in the previous episode I did these latches. So I don't know if you can see, let me just show you close. So I put these latches on, so it's got a locking mechanism. This is just to make it secure, so I put double, not to lose a wheel somewhere next to the road. And then I put a bit of paint on it just to refresh it, so it gets a little bit of paint, looking new again. The mounting process. So firstly, I think I'm going to measure this out, get something under here. So this is the area where I'm going to mount it in this position, but I'm going to measure how far the wheel goes that way, so I'm not in front of the taillight, obstructing my taillight from the back, and then securing this in a position that I can drill 4 holes in the bottom and mount it with proper bolts. I would suggest using quite a high tensile strength bolt as well, just to be safe. Okay, so just to answer your question, this is a laser level, but the vehicle isn't level. So if it's out by 5 millimeters, it's just to give me the vertical line from where the bracket needs to sit. So I gave it an extra about 3 centimeters inwards from the taillight, so it doesn't obstruct the taillight. So if it's out by 3 or so centimeters, it's fine. But looking at it with a horizontal line, the vehicle is very close to level. Now if I measure it, so vertically on the tub, if I measure that height, that distance and that distance, it's about 5 millimeters out. So the vehicle is very close to water level straight. So now I'm just going to mark where the line there at the bottom comes down, where the middle of the bracket will go. Okay, so as I come under the car, You can see the green light where it goes down. What I'm gonna do, I made a mark there, but now the problem is there's a piece of iron welded there. So this is gonna keep my bracket from sitting flush on this one. So the only thing I'm gonna do here now is I'm gonna move this inside. So this bracket is gonna basically sit there. It also gives me the opportunity to work through these holes and put bolts in. Okay, so if you can see my little contraption that I made here to make the stands stable, and then I put a jack in to just hold it up against the car. Put some protection, it's very important. So as soon as I do something with the bracket, I put that carton back. It's 3 layers of carton, so it'll protect the car from bumps. But yeah, I think I'm happy with where it's sitting. I think I'm going to mark out the holes now, and then we're going to start drilling. Okay, so as you can see, this is my jack stand. Be very careful not to bump anything now. That's where I'm going to drill holes either side, so this side and on the back there. There's also 2 holes. I think it's M12 if I look at it correctly. I'll just measure it beforehand, and then you won't believe I'm gonna bolt in this whole system through this one hole, but I'll show you how. This is quite amazing what you can do, like a gynecologist, only through one hole. So let's get the holes drilled and then take it from there. Okay, so these bolts that I got here, looks a bit rusted, but it's actually okay. It's a bit of surface rust. We'll just give it also a brush, steel brush, and a bit of epoxy paint or a self-etching primer, just to keep it from not rusting. This is actually a M10, but what I'm going to do, M10 meaning this shaft is 10 millimeters thick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drill it at 10.5, so the hole is half a mil bigger. Just gives me that bit of leniency to move the bracket to position, but it won't affect the bracket because it's pulled down by 4 of these high tensile steel bolts. That's how easy it is to go through 8 millimeters of steel if you've got a small pilot hole. Okay, so sitting at the bottom of the car, so all of the bolts are anti-rust coated now. Hopefully they're a bit dry. So let me show you the gyne move that I'm putting these in. So each one has got a plate welded onto the bolt. So you actually, and you'll see each one has a different length. So the furthest 2 gets the longest length, and the closest get the shortest. So basically you're gonna run it through this hole. There's a hole here, if you can't see it, let me show you there. But anyway, we're gonna wiggle it in that hole till it falls through the hole, and this plate that I welded on there, once I start to tighten, this will lock into a position and you can tighten it. And even on the loosening, you'll see this will start rotating and I can loosen it without putting a spanner on the other side. You know what? Looking at this now, I think I remember how I got it in here. Might not be through this hole, because I've done this I think 9 years ago. I think I removed this plastic. If you remove this plastic from the upper, there's holes in the top, so you go in from the top. One pin, 3 to go. So 3 of the pins is gone. Yes, just like I said, if you, let me get the GoPro here. If you look on the top here, you'll see there's a hole there. So I think best is to get these bolts through this hole into the position they should be. But yeah, you can see how thick this is welded. There's even a piece of reinforcing on here that is super thick. So this thing is properly boxed in. This is all metal. So this all is one piece of steel bar. And as I got it, this car's got a 3-ton towing capacity. So, and I think this forms part of it. I think between my old model vehicle and this one, there's definitely a little bit of difference here. Not in form, but the holes differ. Because this was a Breeze on my old car, and in this car there's not much space to work with. Okay, so the small ones are in. Now it's to wangle them into position where they need to go. Woo! That's done. Okay, fitting the actual bracket takes longer to put in the bolts than fitting the whole bracket. This thing is not too heavy. I would reckon this is about 10 kilograms if I'm correct. This is not too heavy. Yeah, if it's that much, it's about 10 kg, I would say. One thing about DIY, you cross the bridge when you get there. And I got 2 interesting questions in the previous video. This car has got park distance and rear facing camera. Now the camera actually sits on the side this bracket is sitting. So I don't know, we'll cross the bridge when we get there. I think because this is in such an angle, I think these sensors work at a 120 or 160 degree angle or something like that. So in theory, this sensor should miss this and the wheel sitting here, because this sends a signal downward. It's not sending signals upward. So, but let's see. Once the tire is on and I've got it in reverse, I'll actually see. The camera, if it's a problem, I actually only use this camera when I reverse up to a trailer. It's quite handy, or actually when there's a kid or something behind the car, just to make sure when you reverse. So now you've got a double locking system. Pull it up, lock it, pull this side up, lock it, so now it's able to fall down. Got some way hooking a little bit, and this comes all the way down. So this is tensioned with springs. I have to push this down to there. I think that's the maximum it can go. So yeah, I think this clears the tub when it's open. I think so. But yeah, once you finish the inside, the spare wheel will help with the pull down so it keeps it there. But then the spring loaded will help, so when you take the spare wheel with one hand, it'll just pull itself back right up to that point. And then once you're there, I'll just trim those two pieces. Push it in, and you're locked and ready to go. This bracket is going nowhere. Okay. Look here. This is a locking mechanism that I welded into this bracket so you can lock it. But also this pin makes it a cool location pin on the studs. So it bolts down with only 4 studs. Can actually be held down by 2. That's not necessary for the massive pull down. But this is a very nice guide for when you put the wheel on. This wheel is super heavy, but it's still easier than climbing under there to get it out. For now, if I need to take it off again. So there you have it. It's on. Sits quite secure. It's about 50 millimeters away from the tub. So in any bumps, this won't get near the car. But I think this is super secure. Let's try to unhook it, see how easy it is. Unhook the one side, hook in the other side. And like I said, I'll just trim those. And then your spare wheel comes all the way down. Okay, let's see. All thumbs. There we go. And that's it. So the back is fully open, extended. Nothing in here. I can sit in here. I can sit with my feet like that. Okay, so that's problem number 1. But if you know how to fix this, please comment below. How can I improve, or how can I make this better? Thanks for watching. I think this is the end of the video. I'm tired now. I was quite sweating to make you this video, so I hope it's not too boring. It shows what you can do when you've got a bit of tools at home. I think this came out pretty nice. So yeah, if you like this video, like it, subscribe it, share it, and check out for the next one. Thanks guys, thanks for watching.
If you like what you see on this channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button displayed on the screen now. It doesn't cost you anything, but it will help this channel to grow. And you can click on this icon if you want to watch the latest video.